All right, again, just to clarify for the VOD folks, this is a list comprised mostly from my own experiences. Absolutely some noteworthy exclusions, and the seating, of course, entirely up to debate. Having said all that, it is time to begin the tournament to determine the best indie soundtrack. So here we go. Matchup number 1. It's a doozy. It's going to be Hollow Knight. Sorry, that's going to be the poll popping up from that window. Number 1 seed. And probably one of the strongest contenders on the list. Certainly one of the strongest contenders on the list. Immediately, upon going back to this one, reminded of the overwhelming presence that it has. Immediately elicits emotion, puts me right in those places. Listening to the music from certain zones zaps me right back into those moments playing through it for the first time. Just a sensational soundtrack. And one that I would not at all be surprised to see go quite far in this tournament today. On the other side, a soundtrack that I absolutely adore. A game that, hell, might be considered a classic these days, which feels weird as hell. Thomas Was Alone. Oh, that's a good piece of advice there, Howland. Thank you. Yeah, noted. Sorry. Anyway. Thomas Was Alone. Just a delightful game. Mike Bithel's freshman entry to his catalog. Delightful narration throughout, but this soundtrack by David Housden. Christopher Larkin, by the way. Sorry, meant to shout out the composer for Hollow Knight, but I'm sure we'll be talking about him more. Because, let's be honest, that's a favorite. But I do absolutely want to shout out Thomas Was Alone as well. So much character to these songs, which I feel was kind of a necessity for a game like this. You have to tell a lot of the story with the music, which this soundtrack does in spades. It's a little sad, but the whole game's a little sad. Kind of has that feel to it. There's a little melancholy, you know? But at the same time, there's like an underlying happiness to it. There's like a feeling of hope. I feel like that's the message the whole game is trying to send. That through the despair, a little rectangle can still smile. So there you go. It's Hollow Knight versus Thomas Was Alone as our first matchup of the day. I'll start the poll. We'll have 2 minutes to vote. And I'll be giving you guys a minute of uninterrupted play from both soundtracks here as the voting goes. So we'll do another minute here of me shutting my mouth and listening to this. And now for your voting consideration, Hollow Knight.
Welcome to the Bear Pile.
Maybe get to an actual start of the song here. That sounds like a smart idea, Baer. There you go, buddy. A very close result. Much closer than I expected. But sure enough, our number 1 seed will move on. Strong showing from Thomas Was Alone. Love to see it. Shout out Thomas. Our 32 seed. Grabbing 30% of the vote. But we'll have Hollow Knight moving on here in the bracket. Just trying to manage all my windows here. Apologies. That'll be 70% of the vote to Thomas's 30. And our winner here will indeed be Hollow Knight. Absolutely, against probably the strongest contender in the tournament. Thomas Was Alone. Big time performance there. All right. Well, that will be a goodbye to the Thomas Was Alone tab. And that will bring us to our second matchup of the day. Oh, now hold on a second. Is that right? This is the one I want. There we go. That's the vibe I was looking for. It's RimWorld, ladies and gentlemen. I am personally just a gigantic fan of this soundtrack. Had to fight myself not to seed it even higher. I've listened to this multiple times through. Absolutely brilliant background music. A hard carry from RimWorld as an experience, in my opinion. For a game that can often kind of feel like a spreadsheet simulator, I love RimWorld, don't get me wrong. This is coming from a place of love. The music was sensational. Such a big part of what made that such a fun game for me to play. And a game that I've spent so much time with compared to other games we've streamed. A soundtrack that just absolutely deserves heaps of praise. Strong contender here at seed 16. Going up against, I mean, again, it's a list full of them. Another underdog here in the form of Disco Elysium. A game that I eternally regret not finishing. Soundtrack by Sea Power, formerly known as British Sea Power. Speaking of being a little melancholy, having that macabre feel, I use the word desolation. I feel also just perfectly encapsulates the emotional experience involved with this game, and consequentially with this soundtrack. Similar vibes, I think. Maybe RimWorld a little bit more upbeat and exploratory compared to Disco's, I guess, introspective feel. Not trying to sound too hoity-toity about things. Mostly, though, I think that a lot of my interpretation of how to best compare these against one another is, well, how did it make you feel? How'd you feel when you listened to it? This one, it made me feel it made me feel good in a bad way. You know what I mean? Like, or even maybe bad in a good way. But either way, a worthy contender. And one that, honestly, I could be surprised, or I would not be surprised to see moving on. So here we go. Let's get the poll started. Can you do Instruments of Surrender from Disco? Sure, yeah. We'll do that during the voting section. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, I got you. All right. Let me get the poll started here. We'll get this going. RimWorld versus Disco Elysium. And voting, by the way, taking place in the official Twitch chat poll thing. So if you'd like to participate, you do have to have chat open. And you can do a /vote1 for RimWorld, /vote2 for Disco Elysium. We'll have 2 minutes. We'll do a minute of uninterrupted music from each game. The poll will start now. And now for your voting consideration, RimWorld. We'll do New Day. Yeah, there we go. A close fight, as expected. But it looks like Disco Elysium will be coming out on top. We'll be hearing more of that. And as we say goodbye to RimWorld, I probably should have done this for the last matchup as well. Let's have a goodbye request for RimWorld. Anybody got one specific RimWorld song they gotta hear before we say goodbye to this soundtrack? You feel free to let me know as we input our results here. Let's go ahead and say goodbye. That'll be 40-60 as Disco Elysium moves on. Alpaca's pretty good. We'll hear that. And yeah, no need for any kind of, you know, I'm sure this goes without saying. These are all opinions. This is all subjective. Mostly a popularity contest. Every single soundtrack on here is absolutely deserving of praise. Let's keep it above the belt. That will be Disco Elysium moving on. But my opinions are better. That's how I feel. I mean, I'm always feeling that way. That's why I did this, so I could subject you to all of my opinions. We say goodbye to RimWorld. And move on to the next matchup in the bracket. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. It's a doozy. I was going to turn that down, but that would have been a mistake. That would have been a bad choice. Necrodancer. Woo, boy. Poor Danny B. Having to go up against himself. I don't know, though, man. If I was him, I feel like this might be, well, it's interesting. I don't need to talk, though, do I? Now, less talking, Baer. Arguably the number one seed of the tournament. At one point, absolutely was. It's Crypto the Necrodancer. You know it's going to be a strong contender, but it's got strong competition. Speaking of bangers, dude, Danny B apparently knows his stuff. Seems like this Danny B guy might be pretty good at the old music making there. Man, it's unfortunate these two had to match up this early. I guess I could have changed that. I had a little bit of control over that, but oh boy. Man, this is going to be very difficult. What did you say? I can't hear you over Danny B. That's probably for the best. Let's start the vote. Necrodancer versus Super Meat Boy. That's a /vote 1 for Necrodancer, /vote 2 for Meat Boy. Votes open now. Clearly Danny B wins. Yeah, in any case, go Danny B, all right? And now for your voting consideration. More Crypto the Necrodancer. Little surprise here. One of our powerhouse contenders for the entire competition. It will indeed be Crypto the Necrodancer moving on. With 78% of the vote. An impressive showing from Danny B, but unfortunately he was no match for Danny B. And Crypt of the Necro Dancer will be moving on. We'll say goodbye to Super Meat Boy. We'll take an open request for our final Super Meat Boy jam. And any particular song you got to hear as we say goodbye to this one. Danny B kicked his own ass. I mean, who would have thought? Oh, you got to hear death metal. All right. No. We're talking Super Meat Boy going out track, not Necrodancer. You silly boy. Oh, Salt Factory. Where's that going to be? Hold on. Let me take a peek here. Can of salt. We can do that. We can do that. Oh, retro. Oh, yeah. Okay. I like this. I don't know if I've heard this yet. Going out with a banger. A Super Meat Boy will see a first round exit. But again, strong showing, man. 22% of the vote. I don't think there's going to be too many lopsided victories today. I think each game is going to see a lot of dedicated folks. But we will say goodbye and start our next matchup here today. Goodbye, Super Meat Boy. Hello, Celeste. I feel like I'm going to be saying this all day. I think a lot of people might have this as their number one. This is a magical soundtrack, man. Absolutely magical. This is a happy one. This is a feel-good one for sure. If Celeste doesn't win this whole thing, I'm never coming here again. Stop saying that, Bananasaurus Rex. Did you stop threatening that? It really is. I was having a tough time. Even just I kept looking at the list over and over, and on so many of these entries, I was like, how is that not higher? But then I would look at the games above it, and I was like, oh, that's why. But seriously, just a phenomenal soundtrack front to back. Absolutely perfect accompaniment to the experience of playing this game. A very strong contender. Meanwhile, on the other side, oh, it's a good one. Good old Spelunky. I gotta be honest, as a man who has played both games extensively, I think Spelunky HD is a little better. Soundtrack-wise, anyway. I think this soundtrack's a little better, man. It's just got a little more personality. Got a little more uniqueness to it, you know? There's such a bold differentiation between tracks. And each track is quite good. I'll give you wet fur, don't worry. You're getting wet fur. In fact, hell, you're getting wet fur right now. Once I find it. Oh, that's not... Oh, boy. Not labeled. Ah, shit. Well, I'll have to find it. Hold on. Because we're playing that, goddammit. Oh, I got it. Here we go. For your voting pleasure. Time to check the comments, right? Yeah. We got it. If this doesn't give Spelunky its strongest chance against Celeste, nothing will. So as we get the vote underway, it's a /vote 1 for Celeste, /vote 2 for Spelunky. This is the full series, by the way, of course, both games. Let's begin. Wow. Oh my God. Next up for your voting consideration, here's Celeste again. Ooh boy. Probably had some folks sweating on that one. B-Rex nearly left permanently. But it will indeed be Celeste moving on. A very close vote. Spelunky making an impressive showing. But Celeste will be taking the win. 56-44. Very nice. Sorry, let me shrink this just a bit here so that's not in the way of the score input. Let's make that a little smaller. There we go. All right. Cosmic Ocean for the Spelunky losers? Absolutely. Can do. I'm going to have to search that one up real quick. Yeah, that's a fitting exit. Where are you? There you are. This one? I think this is right. No, Cosmic Ocean theme. There we go. That's the perfect say goodbye music for Spelunky 2. No doubt. Give it a Baer F. Well fought, Spelunky. And Spelunky 2. We honor your first round exit. And send you off into that beautiful night sky. Absolutely a delightful soundtrack. Two delightful soundtracks, in fact. Shout out Eric Serke, I believe is how I say his name. Composer on both soundtracks. I keep forgetting to shout those out. That was Lena Rainey? Boy, pronunciation. Probably should have gotten those knocked out in the prep work. Lena Rainey, I believe, composer on Celeste as well. We will say goodbye to Spelunky 2. And we'll move on to our next matchup. It's a doozy. Oh boy. What was once the number one seed and is wholeheartedly deserving of at least a top 5 spot. It's Cuphead. Studio MDHR. Composer Christopher Madigan. Some unbelievably good big band full ensemble experience here. Oh boy. Anything that matches up against Cuphead, man. They got their work cut out for them. Simply one of the best game soundtracks of all time. Now, of course, Cuphead, a little less indie these days, a game that's got a Netflix series. Back in the day, though, obviously, of course, fully fits the bill. A possible contender to go the distance. With some really nice barbershop quartet vocals going on in a few of these tracks as well. That's Cuphead. On the other side, however, speaking of bangers, dude, let's not count out Cave Story real quick here. Let's not be so bold. Oh man, probably a game that deserved to be seated a little higher. I've been listening to this soundtrack quite a bit over the last week or so. Man, this is good. Man, this is a good soundtrack. Just this first song, man, it's just, oh. This is adventure distilled into a single song. This is just absolutely delightful. How does every good indie game have such an amazing soundtrack? Yeah, welcome to my last week. / my entire professional career, I suppose. Of playing the grand majority of these games and being like, God damn, this music's good. So here's the matchup. Our 5th of round 1. Cuphead versus Cave Story. That's going to be a /vote 1 for Cuphead, /vote 2 for Cave Story. Polls open now. Hot diggity damn, dude. And for your voting consideration, more Cuphead. Boy, every single matchup, man, has been a lot closer than I expected. We saw that 50-50 split early on here for this one. But it will indeed be Cuphead taking the win. 62% of the vote. Cave Story. A very respectable showing here, man. I think maybe in a different matchup they would have had a better shot. But like we said last week, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Cave Story will just fall short to Cuphead here. We'll say goodbye to Cave Story properly. We'll take requests. Any particular Cave Story track we need to hear as we send it off into that good night? Oh, and I'm so excited for the next matchup as well. Just looking ahead here. All of them. Moon Song. Yeah, we can do that. Let me find that here. There you are. Our goodbye track. Again, 38% of the vote against Cuphead. You gotta hold their heads high. That's a strong showing. The Cave Story will indeed make a first round exit. Certainly a worthy contender. And off it goes. A slow manual fade out. And goodbye, Cave Story. Goodbye, Tab. And hello, next matchup. Just that one note is all it takes. For as little as I played this game, it's honestly incredible how much I've listened to this soundtrack. This soundtrack is a 10 out of 10, man. Into the Breach. Ben Prunty's second entry on the list. Also, real quick while I'm just remembering, shout out Pixel, composer of the Cave Story soundtrack. Mr. Prunty, you've done it again. Just a wildly varied set of sounds this man is capable of producing, it turns out. Honestly, I was tempted, as much backlash as it may have possibly created, or maybe no backlash at all. I think this might even be better than the FTL soundtrack. I'm willing to be so bold. I said it. I said it, damn it. It's just phenomenal, man. I am very curious to see, in fact, the results of this one, and perhaps even the results of upcoming matchups. This one's a strong contender. Good old Ben Prunty. But its opponent, certainly no slouch. Certainly not. And speaking of a wide range of sounds, speaking of emotional investment, whoo, baby. Every time I turn this back on, over the course of reviewing our options here, I was riding higher and higher on Mr. Chatwood's work here. With the Darkest Dungeon and the Darkest Dungeon 2 soundtracks, of course. Both just sensational stuff. Just gained one stress, right? Yeah. It's a tough choice, man. Both very strong options here, but let's see how it shakes out. Into the Breach versus Darkest Dungeon, the whole series, mind you. Music from both games. That's going to be a slash vote 1 for Into the Breach, a slash vote 2 for Darkest Dungeon. Poll begins now. And now for your voting consideration once again. Into the Breach. Tell you what, we're gonna go here, I think. Yeah, that's the one. I'm shocked. I'm shocked, man. Wow. We say goodbye to Into the Breach in round one. This is definitely the surprise of the tournament for me so far. It's my channel and I'm surprised. I definitely expected to see some Darkest Dungeon support. If I was choosing here, I would pick Into the Breach. I mean, you heard how passionate I was about it. This one surprises me. But sure enough, it will be it will be Darkest Dungeon. Look at me, I'm still shocked by it. Refusing to accept the reality. It will be Darkest Dungeon, moving on. Old War Machines, please. We'll send it off properly here, absolutely. Certainly giving it its time in the spotlight. It sounds like we got plenty more Darkest Dungeon to come, though. That's exciting, too. All right, what do we need here? We get Old War Machines. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. Oh, man, that's crazy. Big support here for Darkest Dungeon, though. I don't know if you planned this, but it's also the Eurovision Song Contest finale tonight, so I've been thinking of this as the BaerTaffy Song Contest. We'll pretend I did. We can pretend I knew. Absolutely. We give another Baer F and say goodbye to, yes, indeed, the eternally underrated both game and soundtrack, Into the Breach. Mr. Prunty's still sticking around, of course, but we will say goodbye to his second entry on the list. And there it goes, fading away and taking us into a doozy of a next matchup here. It's Undertale. Seated here at number 5. Whoa, what the hell? Oh, apparently that doesn't work. Let's go with Dating Fight. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Does Deltarune count for this, or is it separate? Go ahead, sure. If it helps, feel free. I suppose this is technically a series now, right? A soundtrack that was honestly contending for top 3, if not even maybe a number 1 seed. The following this game has, absolutely insane. The soundtrack, correct me if I'm wrong, almost entirely composed by Toby Fox, right? I think there may have been a couple of extra contributors, but he basically did the entire thing himself. Like, wow. I mean, we all know how impressive the entire body of work of Undertale as a game is, but just the music, dude. If it was just that, it would be so impressive still. It's insane. I'm not even playing like a particularly good track here. Let's do Ruins. There we go. There's a classic. Honestly, this soundtrack is just It's unbelievable to me, the level of quality throughout this entire project. So good. We're not even legally allowed to play the best song. It's not even going to get its fairest shake. But on the other side, we do have a pretty strong contender. This is going to be Slay the Spire. A game perhaps not as known for its soundtrack, but a game with a fantastic soundtrack all the same. Beautiful compositions in this one, man. It has such a, like, what am I trying to say here? The feeling here is like, what's behind the next door? That's the emotion that it elicits for me, is like, much like the gameplay of Slay the Spire, it makes me feel like, oh, what's coming up next? What mysteries abound in this world? It's like expansive dread. There you go. Yeah, I love that descriptor. Solid entry to the list here for sure. Composer Clark About. Not sure about the pronunciation there, but shout out Clark. We'll get the poll started. Undertale versus Slay the Spire here in round one. It's going to be a slash vote 1 for Undertale, slash vote 2 for Slay the Spire. Votes open now. And as a natural segue, let's go ahead and take that opportunity to play some more Undertale. Man, Undertale's been playing it on easy mode so far too, man. Goodness. They got a few left in the chamber. The Slay the Spire will indeed fall. With one of the more lopsided results so far. Albeit still a pretty strong showing for Slay the Spire. But it will fall here to Undertale. 79% of the vote. Undertale moves on to round 2. And for our exit, for Slay the Spire, we've got a recommendation for Exordium. Absolutely. Conveniently the next track. We give a Baer F in chat to another strong contender. A lot of folks mentioning through the course of the voting here, they consider this more of like a background noise soundtrack, that it like melts more into the game than a lot of these other ones do. seems to be swaying the voting a little bit, whether or not people can, you know, like identify specific songs or like the feeling they got when they heard this track for the first time. You know, that definitely seems like it's got a lot more weight today than, say, you know, I won't name any other particular factors. That definitely seems like it's been the case. Good stuff here, though, certainly from Slay the Spire. And we say goodbye. Yeah, you're not the first person to say that today, Chocobo. I'll readily admit to the likelihood of underrating the Pyre soundtrack. But thankfully, Supergiant's got some other contenders here. Speaking of which, oh baby, a sleeper pick to go the distance. One of the best indie soundtracks ever made, dude. Full experience here, man. I mean, play Bastion, first of all. I think that goes without saying. Yet again, just like last week, any game's inclusion on this list basically it implies recommendation. Oh man, this is just... I want to just shut up and hear it, so I think we got to get to that point quicker for me. However, let's be balanced. Let's be as fair and balanced as we can possibly be. For on the other side of this one is another pretty damn good choice in my mind. Amos Roddy and crew with a beautiful score to a beautiful game. Give some consideration, if you please, to the majesty, if you will, of the Kingdom soundtrack. This is one I've listened to many times. This is one of my favorite background noise ambient music soundtracks. Just absolutely freaking wonderful, man. This music makes me happy. This is a feel-good selection here for sure. I'm gonna be sad to see either of these contenders go this early on, man. I could very happily listen to any song from either of these soundtracks any day of the week. But let's get the poll going. We'll see how it shakes out. This will be Bastion versus the Kingdom series. It's a /vote 1 for Bastion, /vote 2 for Kingdom. Polls open now. And for your further voting consideration, more Bastion. No big surprise. Not too shocked by this one, man. Darren Korb, Ashley Barrett. Heck of a duo. Heck of a team. Heck of a soundtrack. It will indeed be Bastion moving on. Can we get Such Is Time for the Kingdom outro? Absolutely. Yeah, we'll say goodbye to Kingdom here with Such Is Time. Such is time to say goodbye to the Kingdom series as it falls here in round one. Bastion will take in 86% of the vote. The biggest defeat of the night. But Kingdom, man, just can't recommend this game or soundtrack enough. Round two's a bloodbath. It's gonna be tough, absolutely. But there we go. Bastion moving on. And Kingdom is no more. Speaking of Darren Korb. Here we go. You knew it was coming. Finalist from last week. And perhaps another finalist here. In my personal opinion, the best soundtrack Supergiant Games has put out to date. Shout out Supergiant, by the way, uploading their own soundtracks to YouTube for our perusal. Pretty fucking dope of them to do. Hades. My God. We're pulling punches right now, man. With this soundtrack. You ain't heard nothing yet. This is, without a doubt, one of the strongest contenders on this list. Its opponents have got their work cut out for them. On the other side, it's Minecraft. It's so quiet. Hold on, sorry. Let me try to find something a little more audible. There you go. Yeah, sorry, that's as loud as that'll get for me too. Minecraft has music. Yes, okay, so I recognize this is more than likely gonna be another one of those that folks, like we just had the conversation about, I think a lot of people don't necessarily notice the music in Minecraft. That being said, if you do, I think you'll be pretty pleasantly surprised. C418, composer for the original score. It's really, really good, man. It's just great ambient music. Perfect for the setting. Plays its part to perfection. But yeah, I think we need to... Saying take it out behind the bar, Baer. All right. Yeah, I think we might have a bit of a mismatch here, but we'll give it its fair course. That's going to be a /vote1 for Hades and a /vote2 for Minecraft. Let it begin. I know it's so quiet. I'm sorry. I wish I could make it louder. I mean, it is just quiet music, too. pardon me, jeez. Thought I was muted. And for your voting consideration, more Hades. It's a slight tonal shift. And unsurprisingly, Hades will indeed be moving on. I'm a little shocked by the vote share for Minecraft there. 25% going up against our number 2 seed. Not too bad, man. That's a pretty impressive showing. Minecraft will indeed be taking the first round exit here, though. And I know for a fact that you'll be quite unhappy with me unless I play. Oh, do they not have it? They don't have it. Where's Cat? Well, I just gotta search it, I guess. Hold on. I know what I gotta do. As we say goodbye. Shout out C418 for the upload here. And for the, you know, the entirety of the Minecraft soundtrack as well. Secondarily. But that'll be it for Minecraft. And a first round exit. Again, an impressive showing, man. Wasn't necessarily expecting the 25%. There it is. As we say goodbye. Oh, wait for the turn, though. Hold on. Here it is. There we go. That's nice. And out it goes. Bringing us to our next matchup. Here it's Seed 15. See our first entry from Clay. Composer Emmett Hall. Doing the work here for the original soundtrack for Grifflands. Really sensational stuff. The more I listened to these again, the more I realized how much they did actually stand out for me through the course of gameplay. Serving simultaneously the roles of melting into the background when appropriate. But for things like this, one of the boss fight tracks, for example, just a really great mood setter. Big fan of this one. I just realized we had the desktop audio turned down a bit. That's probably a little bit louder for you, isn't it? My bad. There you go. Easy fix. Meanwhile, on the other side of this matchup, a song I'm sure that immediately elicits joy for many, many a folk. It's Stardew Valley. This one sparks joy. It seems like it, yeah. So relaxing. Such a delightful soundtrack. Such flute, indeed. One I'm less familiar with, certainly. But a game that, you know, of course, speaks for itself in terms of quality and fan base. No, I didn't play a ton of Stardew, but again, it's a soundtrack that I have probably heard 10 times more than I've played the game for. If that phrasing makes sense. I've heard this music a lot. Especially because Elise got really into this game as well. Didn't one guy write all this music too? I'm not actually sure about that one. Stardew Valley was composed by Eric Barone, as far as I'm aware. Is that... okay, yeah. All one guy, wow. Very impressive stuff. So that's our vote today. Or sorry, for this round, I should say. Grifflands versus Stardew Valley. It's a slash vote 1 for Grifflands and a slash vote 2 for Stardew Valley. Let's do it. And for your further and perhaps final voting consideration, more Grifflands. My goodness. Poor Grifflands. But there it goes. An overwhelming majority. It will indeed be Stardew Valley. Moving on. Final tally of 81% of the vote. Grifflands knocked out round 1. Shout out Clay Games, composer Emmett Hall. That'll do it. As we say goodbye, give him the Baer F. Everyone on this list is up, man. Yet again, I reiterate, simply inclusion here. Quite commendable. I mean, you know, it doesn't mean anything. It's just mostly just a big goof, but certainly a list full of extremely good soundtracks. Game popularity makes a big difference too, for sure. Oh, absolutely. No doubt. We say goodbye to Grifflands. And we move on to our next matchup. It's more Corb. It's more Corb, boys and girls. You knew it was coming. Thank God I fixed this problem I had of not having originally included this soundtrack on the list. Boy, would I have been looking like a fool. would I have had some egg on my face for getting Transistor. Another Darren Korb joined, of course, Supergiant Games. Shout out yet again, of course, them uploading their own soundtrack. Pretty sick. We're pulling punches again here, man. You have no idea. We're giving them the round one treatment. But even here, even with just a slice, you can hear what we're dealing with. We haven't even uncorked the Ashley Barrett yet. That's Transistor. On the other side, Baba Is You. I swear I'm not laughing at the impending massacre. This music just makes me happy. You can be, that's fine. This is a really nice soundtrack, though. Perfect for the game. Absolutely perfect for the game. That much I can easily say. Such a unique sound to this one. I really enjoy the, what I assume to be majorly the use of synths in so many different ways. Simultaneously, there is a bit of a samey feel to this one. A lot of the tracks kind of bleed together. Still, though, strong contender. Composed by Andreas Voldtoft, I believe is how we say that. It's Baba Is You. Here in round one. Let's start the poll. Transistor versus Baba Is You. That's going to be a slash vote 1 to vote for Transistor. Slash vote 2 is Baba. Vote now. And for your voting consideration, more Transistor. Another fairly lopsided affair this time. Will be Supergiant's second entry. Moving on. The final tally of 81% of the vote. We say goodbye to Baba Is You. We need a farewell. We need a proper farewell for Baba. We can just give it its main theme, I think. Baba is no more. Baba is defeat. Baba is respectable at 19% against a strong player in Transistor. We say goodbye to Baba. And we say hello to another dark horse of the tournament. It's Risk of Rain. Seated at number 10. Full series, Risk of Rain 2. Soundtracks composed by Chris Christodoulou. Oh boy. What a soundtrack. If this was just the first game, it would still be a top 10 contender. But you add on the second, honestly, this should have been seated higher. I think it really should have. It's so good. I'm running out of descriptors early on here, unfortunately. Because they're all so goddamn good. I keep having to get into the mode of, you have no idea. You gotta listen to this soundtrack. It blows my fucking mind. It's just amazing. Especially in a game like Risk of Rain, where if you took the music out, it would still be chaos. But adding that as a complement to the chaos is just, it's masterfully done. This is one of my favorites to win the whole damn thing. Risk of Rain. On the other side, almost entirely positive here that this may be a little underseated. It's Terraria. Very difficult round one matchup. A game that I also have, unfortunately, not nearly enough experience with to seed this higher. This is 100% without a doubt my biases coming into play, because I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this soundtrack. I've listened to quite a bit of it now as a result of my prep here in the last week or so, and been very impressed throughout. This one's got a lot more character to it. This is one, while Risk of Rain is, like I said, kind of a complement to the chaos, Terraria kind of feels like it's got its own personality with each track. But let's open up the voting here. It's going to be the Risk of Rain series versus Terraria. It's a slash vote 1 for Risk of Rain, slash vote 2 for Terraria. for your voting consideration. More Risk of Rain. Terraria keeping it interesting, man. A very close result there, as expected. But Risk of Rain will be moving on with 56% of the vote. Terraria keeping it real close the whole way through. Ends up with 44%. Plantera theme as a send-off. Can do. As we keep Risk of Rain in the mix, we'll say goodbye to Terraria. Let's see what that was. Plantera. Plantera. Can do. Here you go. We give it a Baer F once more. Not exactly the goodbye song I was expecting. My God. I gotta give this one a couple more spins, man. This is intense. Going out with a fight. This Terraria. We say goodbye. Is that some fucking gent? My God. Here we go. That's, you know what? That's all you need. That's it. That's all. No, I'll play more, but it's FTL. Our winner, of course, from last week of the best roguelikes, or the best indie roguelikes, or, you know, whatever it was. It's last week, Baer. Come on. One of the best indie soundtracks as well, it turns out. It's FTL. Just what remains to be said, you know? It's so cozy, it really is. I was, of course, voicing my support for Mr. Prunty's later work. But having said that, these songs, they're integral, they're core memories. That's what these are. This music constitutes a core memory in my inside out brain of my first and subsequent experiences playing what is one of the best, maybe just one of the best games ever, with a soundtrack complementing it perfectly. And contending here with FTL in round one is Dead Cells. Now, I love me some Dead Cells music. I'm going to go to bat pretty strongly for Dead Cells here, in fact. I know FTL's a favorite. I see the writing on the wall. But do give some consideration here. Dead Cells soundtrack is terrific. I honestly think this should be a closer fight than it may end up being, because there are so many songs on this soundtrack that elicit so many different emotions. The boss battles for this game just epic is the only word that I can think of. I will give a similar criticism to Dead Cells that I did to Baba Is You, in that I feel that a lot of the tracks do end up kind of bleeding together, not necessarily differentiating themselves from one another that much. Having said that, though, they are all just extremely good. This one's going to be tough. But let's do it. FTL versus Dead Cells. The matchup you would have expected to see a lot later last week, certainly. But duking it out in round one. That's a slash vote 1 for FTL. A slash vote 2 for Dead Cells. Hang on, I gotta let it play out. We're going overtime. I gotta let it play out. Okay, there we go. And now for your further voting consideration, more FTL. Let's go with Rock Battle. Yeah, there we go. Look at that adorable little artwork. A much closer result than I expected. But the expected result, all the same. Dead Cells going up against a juggernaut will indeed fall. The final score, 60% of the vote to Dead Cells 40. It'll be FTL moving on. And we send off Dead Cells. Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing here. Let's see if we can find the Clock Tower soundtrack. Or the Clock Tower song. Hang on, we gotta refer to the comments real quick. Give me a minute. Good old commenters helping us out. Oh, it doesn't look like they've got it on this one here. We'll play the Black Bridge instead. Since we've been going out with a bang. This is a pretty solid one, too. Yet another Baer F for Dead Cells as we say goodbye here in the first round. A hard-fought battle. Dead Cells is no more. All right, I'm just realizing how long we've been going already, so I think I need to escalate the pace a little here. Let's move on to our next matchup. Yet another dark horse here, man. I said it at the beginning. I'm going to say it again right here and now. This is one of my favorite game soundtracks I've ever heard. It's Owlboy. Jonathan Gear, composer here. Also the well-known composer of the Cook Serve Delicious series. This sounds like it belongs in a Hollywood film. This sounds like it's too good. Owlboy's a fantastic game here too. Don't get me wrong. I like Owlboy a lot. The soundtrack is just incredibly good, though. This is for a game, yeah. This is for an indie game. Highly recommend Owlboy. Highly recommend listening to this soundtrack in its entirety. Please. It's so good. It's so good. But it's got a tough opponent, man. Soundtrack composed by Andrew Prelo. Outer Wilds. So distinct. This simple little banjo riff, man. I think it is going to be an instant heartstring tugger for a lot of people. Oh, I think this is the hardest choice for me personally here in round one. I'm beginning to feel the pain that has been demonstrated in chat several times here of how are you making me choose, Baer? Why would you do this? I get it. I'm asking myself the same question. This is one of the hardest matchups easily here in round one. Let's get it underway. That's going to be Owlboy versus Outer Wilds. That's a /vote1 for Owlboy, /vote2 for Outer Wilds. Vote now. For your further, I'm sorry, I know I have to do it, but for your further voting consideration, we must also remind you of Owlboy. Which is also still so good. It will unfortunately fall, though. I'm going to say goodbye to Owlboy the proper way, though. Oh, wait, no, never mind. This is absolutely perfect. I didn't even have to try. It gave me the exact send-off song we needed. As the results finalize here. It will indeed be Outer Wilds moving on. I implore you, please, give this soundtrack a spin. Jonathan Gear absolutely crushed it with the Owlboy soundtrack. Just so good. One last shout out, one last Baer F for Owlboy. We say goodbye and we move on to the penultimate matchup of the first round. And yeah, you know, I better go ahead and play this one. It's Dicey Dungeons. I had to stop myself from not seeding this number one. a concerted effort. Because I wanted to, man. Front to back. Start to finish. I am grooving with this soundtrack. Another soundtrack that doesn't have any right to be as goddamn good as it is. How dare you, Chipzel, construct this thing of absolute beauty. There isn't a single non-banger. Fully agree. Can confirm. Dicey Dungeons, ladies and gentlemen. On the other side, The Binding of Isaac. Of course, with quite a few noteworthy tunes of its own. Original soundtrack composed by Danny Baranowski. Rebirth soundtrack composed by Ridiculon. So much good music in both. Personally partial to the first OST. Quite a bit of good stuff either way, though. It's Dicey Dungeons versus The Binding of Isaac. Here in our penultimate matchup in round one. Binding of Isaac. That's going to be a slash vote 1 for Dicey Dungeons and a slash vote 2 for The Binding of Isaac. Votes open. And for your further voting consideration, I'll bring out the big guns early, man. Seems like it might need the help. Race. My goodness. Isaac with a big showing today. Shout out Danny B. Shout out Ridiculon. Play some Flash Isaac to send it out. Yeah, we gotta get the old school stuff, right? Or it's just the main menu theme. That's what we need to hear. It's just the Isaac menu theme. Isaac menu theme. That's what I want. The OG. Although this one's really good too, actually. You know what? Yeah, this would work. Yeah. That seems fitting. That seems like a fitting send-off. As we say goodbye to Isaac. With a final tally of 59% of the vote. Just play a Northern Lion vid, right? Dicey Dungeons will move on. And we get to our final matchup. Here for round one. I don't know about this one, man. This is gonna be a close one too. Having said that, this is a heck of a soundtrack. Enter the Gungeon. Full soundtrack by Dose One. Bops on bops on bops here. For sure. Such a perfect accompaniment yet again. You talk about music that just fits the game perfectly. You got it right here. The vocals in the main theme, yeah, honestly, like that's such a... It's a big contributor. Having like a theme song basically for your game. That's a nice little ace in the hole for him. Enter the Gungeon, man. That's a good one. And a pretty different vibe on the other side of this battle. I will once again simply beg of you. Just it's simply me pleading with you. Play Grease. Play Grease. It's 3 hours long. You'll love it. It's beautiful. So good. So good. Dedicate half a day to it. You'll be glad you did. The soundtrack that elevated the experience so much. This game is gorgeous. And that'll be our final vote of round one. Enter the Gungeon versus Grease. Oh boy. Let's start the poll. And get ready for the hard pivot. You prepared? Your ears ready? Here you go. Boy! Closest so far, absolutely. My goodness. By 3 votes, it'll be Enter the Gungeon moving on. Holy cow. Seems he didn't grease enough palms there. Hey. Certainly deserving of moving on here is Enter the Gungeon. But one last shout out for Grease as we let them get their fade out in here. I assume. Grease, man. I'm very glad to see that kind of result for Grease. As Enter the Gungeon does indeed pull out the victory here with a slim margin. We'll be sending off Grease properly. Let me see what the hold on, let me get this properly set up real quick. We had this one that I wanted to do for the end. The soundtrack is so beautiful. Again, please consider playing Grease. Just an absolutely beautiful game. Did you know Grease is finished for emotional soundtrack? I did, yeah. Little known fact. And as we say goodbye to Grease here, we'll go ahead and zoom out and give you the full preview of what's to come. The bloodbath that will be round 2. My God, if you thought it was hard before. We do say goodbye to Grease. And we say hello to round 2. Biggest shock of the tournament so far for y'all? Of the games that have been eliminated here in round 1, which one were you certain you would see here in round 2? Minecraft, Owlboy, RimWorld. Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised to see RimWorld got knocked out as well. Terraria, Spelunky. Isaac getting knocked out as a shocker. I massaged that vote, I'm not gonna lie. I'm guilty. Guilty as charged on that one. I might have made a bit of a sway there. Cave Story got screwed. Cave Story had a very difficult first round matchup for sure. All right, I've indulged myself enough with the Grease here, I think, as it is now time to return to the top of the bracket. As I've now said my piece about just about every one of these games, we'll escalate the pace a little bit here, since we know what we're dealing with at this point. It's Hollow Knight. #1 seed for a reason. Going up against Disco Elysium on the other side. Hollow Knight soundtrack by Christopher Larkin. Disco Elysium, courtesy of Sea Power. Yeah, let's go with Red Rock Riviera. There we go. Like that. Our first matchup of round 2. Hollow Knight versus Disco Elysium. That's going to be a /vote 1 for Hollow Knight, a /vote 2 for Disco Elysium. Votes open now. And once again, it's Hollow Knight. Another very respectable showing on the other side of this matchup. Once more, Disco Elysium showing up for the fight. But as expected, it'll be our number 1 seed, Hollow Knight. Moving on to the next round. And we say goodbye to Disco Elysium. Someone requested, hold on, let me see here. Need the rave? Where's that? Smallest Church in St. Sans. Let me try that. Yeah, let's play that as our exit track here for Disco Elysium. What a wonderful soundtrack. What a wonderful game. Another easy recommendation as we give a Baer F to Disco Elysium.
Go there.
Oh, didn't expect this.
To the tiny church there.
Perfect.
The smallest church.
Oh, man. Now I'm going to want to hear this whole song, though.
Though it once was larger.
Ah, damn it. No, I shouldn't.
May rest there.
I shouldn't let the whole thing play.
Down through the mist there.
Or should I?
Toward the Seven Sisters. Toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there. In that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here. Looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
There we go. Clap, 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 clap. Goodbye, Disco. Nice knowing you. Round 2, match 2, fight! First contestant. Crypt of the Necrodancer. Contender for the number 1 seed. Dark horse of the whole tournament. Crowd favorite. It's Necrodancer. Up against. Oh boy. Oh boy. You couldn't. Gun to my head, I have no idea what's winning here. I have simply not a clue. This could easily go either way. This is gonna be tough. Here we go. It is going to be Crypt of the Necrodancer versus Celeste. Slash vote 1 for Necrodancer, slash vote 2 for Celeste. Poll is open now. Oh, you need a B-side, huh? Okay, hold on. Let me find one real quick. I don't know if we got a B-side on this list. Here, let me give you one of these. Give you a little star jumping. I had to let that build up. I had to do it. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Despite as good as this is, because on the other side, we got this one. Yeah, nobody tell B-Rex. Because it will indeed be Crypt of the Necrodancer. Moving on by a considerable margin. Celeste with 33% of the vote. Necrodancer takes it. All right, what do we need here for the send-off? Mirror Temple B. All right, let me see if I can find this here. Mirror Temple B side Celeste. Hopefully this is it. This sound right? Ooh, yeah. Goddamn, man. It's a shame. It's a shame one has to go. Honestly, I was not going to be surprised to see Celeste go pretty damn far into this one, but sure enough, it will fall. And we give it another Baer F for Celeste. 33% in round 2. If it had to fall to something, right? Yeah, that's certainly a worthy contender. We say goodbye. We move on. Jeez, these are all just... How do you choose? What's a bear to do when there's just so many good soundtracks? Oh, boy. It's Cuphead. Our number 4 seed. And Darkest Dungeon getting in there as well, but Cuphead, man. These big band jams. Just absolutely phenomenal. On the other side, it's Darkest Dungeon. Let's go with the, Terror and Madness. Perfect. It's a bit of a shift. Couldn't have 2 different OSTs. No kidding. Imagine trying to play one of these games with the other one's soundtrack. That's... Either way sounds pretty hilarious. Like something I want to try. But wow. Again, shout out Stuart Chatwood for some absolutely incredible work. It's Cuphead versus Darkest Dungeon. Let's go. It's a slash vote 1 for Cuphead. Slash vote 2 for Darkest Dungeon. And on the other side, it's Cuphead. Let's go with this one.
I'm Mr. King Dice. I'm the gamest in the land. I never play nice. I'm the devil's right-hand man. I can't let you pass, 'cause you ain't done everything. Bring me those contracts, come on, bring them to the king. If you haven't finished your class, haven't worked assiduously, no, I cannot let you pass. Don't you mess with me. Don't mess with King Dice. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with King Dice. Don't mess with me. I'm Mr. King Dice. He just what I say. The devil has his price.
Wow.
And I'll make sure you pay.
Wow.
Don't have time to mess around.
Woo, boy.
You will agree. Bring
Don't mess with King Dice.
Pronto. Don't you mess
Don't you mess with him.
Don't mess with King Dice.
Oh, damn.
Don't mess
Darkest
with
Dungeon
me.
wanted that smoke, though. I'll
Don't
tell you
mess
what.
with King Dice.
Close race. Hot damn, but there it is. Cuphead will survive. 51-49. My goodness. All right. Well, I know what we're doing here. I know exactly what we're doing here. As our send out. One more shout out, Stuart Chatwood. Clearly need to rethink that 20th seed. This one has got a special place in many hearts here, I'm sure, not to mention elsewhere. An incredible soundtrack, man. An incredible pair of soundtracks, one ongoing at that. Very excited to hear what's to come from Darkest Dungeon 2. But we do say goodbye to the Darkest Dungeon series here in round 2. And we move on to the next matchup on our list. Boy, it's a doozy. Now I've been keeping our extra ammo in reserve here. Is there anything on this list y'all need to hear from Undertale? Just shout it out as soon as you see it right now. Because we need to introduce a little bit of variety into this one. Spider Dance. I can do that. Where's Spider Dance at? Oh my god, it's such a big list. There's so many. Holy shit. There it is. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this one. Oh, my goodness. It's Undertale. Full of bops, dude. heck of an entry on the list. All composed by Toby Fox. There it is. It was getting there. We knew it was coming. So good. On the other side, however. Oh, man. I don't think I can hype up this matchup enough, man. This is a hell of a thing to see this early on. These two, this just ain't right that one of these has to go this early on. That's just simply not right. Can we get Spike and a rail for Bastion? Sure, let's do it. Where's that at? There we go. Oh, of course. Of course. Let it begin. Undertale versus Bastion. What a battle. Slash vote 1 Undertale. Slash vote 2 Bastion. Let it begin. And on the other side, for your voting consideration, Undertale. Here, we're giving an additional one here. There you go. Last second contention. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. The upset by 2 votes. And despite the sounds you hear, Undertale will fall. And Bastion is moving on. It was going to be painful either way, right? Exactly. God, this is such a difficult one. Why can't they both move on, Baer? Why can't we pick both? But alas, Undertale will fall. Not even getting the chance to throw its best punches, man. I legally can't play Megalovania either, just to get out ahead of that. All right. But there it goes. We give another shout out to Toby Fox for an incredible soundtrack. But we do say goodbye. Almost certainly upsetting over half of the VOD audience. I can hear them clickety-clacking away. How dare you? But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And Supergiant, boy, are they making a show in here today. As ladies and gentlemen, for our start of the second half of the second round, we got another doozy. That's our number 2 seed. It's Hades. I honestly don't think I could go wrong with a selection here. I'm getting the shout outs and recommendations. I'm pretty sure I could pick anything. Like literally any song. They're all good. They're all winners, man. Just a fucking phenomenal soundtrack. It's Hades at our 2 seed. There it is. And on the other side. Yet another game pair that I would love to flip-flop the soundtracks on. Just as an experiment. That would be, I'm having a really good time picturing a Hades run with the Stardew Valley music. Like particularly the Hades fight with this going on in the background would be so good. Stardew Valley, of course, though. Absolutely fantastic soundtrack. Perfect accompaniment. And of course, as mentioned a little earlier, similar story to Undertale here, where... So Eric Barone then is Concerned Ape, right? Is that what I'm to believe is the case? Which, yeah, okay, so if that's the case, then yeah, wow, that's remarkable, dude. Yet another case of the primary dev being also almost entirely responsible for the accompanying soundtrack. That's so impressive, man. That is so incredibly impressive. This will be a tough one. It's Hades versus Stardew Valley. Again, I'll say where else but here can you find this matchup? Let's begin. And on the other side, it's Hades. Perhaps a bigger margin than expected. But our number 2 seed will hold strong. It's Hades. Moving on. We'll grab a cool 69% of the vote. Nice. And we'll be our first in the bottom half of round 2 to advance. And we'll say goodbye to Stardew Valley. What do we need to hear here on this one to send it off, folks? What are we looking for out of the Stardew Valley soundtrack? As a proper farewell. Want to go summer track? We can do that. Nature's Crescendo. There we go. There's a feel-good theme to say goodbye. This is perfect for Stardew Valley. They may have been knocked out of the tournament. They couldn't care less. They're just vibing. They're just here to have a good time. I love it. Instant mood lift, absolutely. They got carrots to water, exactly. They're busy. You have your fun little tournament. We'll be here farming. Stardew's rooting for Hades, right? Yeah. Good stuff. All right. You go have fun now, Stardew Valley. You little scamp. We'll say goodbye. And move on. And back to Transistor. All right, now hold on a second. I know you need it. And this might be your last chance. We'll see, but I know this has got to happen. Our second of 3 super giant games to make the list. It's Transistor. Say no more, right? But on the other side, is yet another ridiculously difficult matchup, man. In fact, hold on a second here. We got to spice it up a little bit with this one. Risk of Rain 2. I think Chris uploaded both. Yeah. Let's go with this. Yeah, this is the one. Oh, boy. Oh, man. So difficult to choose. So difficult to choose on this one. It's Transistor versus Risk of Rain. Shout out Corbin Cruz. Shout out Chris Christodoulou for the work on both Risk of Rain soundtracks. Of course, the full series in consideration here. Well, let's start the poll. 2 minutes. Transistor, Risk of Rain. Vote now. And once again, for your voting consideration, Supergiant Games cheat code Ashley Barrett in Transistor. I could see it coming, man. It's Corb versus Corb. It was inevitable. We'll see Hades versus Transistor in round 2. And say goodbye to Risk of Rain. Corb versus Corb. Sorry, don't let me cut you off, Ashley. My apologies. All right, we do got to move on, though. My bad. My bad. We need the monolith for the send-off for Risk of Rain 2. Okay. Can do. Let's see. Oh, is that? Hold on. Oh, if I... Well, let me try to do this with this one. Because if we go like that, and then... Where's monolith? Ah, well, can't find it. Sorry. Oh, Monsoon, not Monolith. Is that from the original soundtrack? One sec. There it is. There it is. That's the one. Yeah. As we say goodbye to Risk of Rain. Was a dark horse contender for me for the whole tournament, but will be knocked out here at the hands of Supergiant. One more big shout out, Chris, for the stellar work. When we say goodbye here in round 2. The slow fade. And yes, indeed, it's time for space combat. That's exciting. Because here we go. Back to FTL. A lot of folks' favorite for the tournament. Absolute classic. Both album and game. Ben Prunty at his best. FTL, man. Not much more to say. Two very different space games, absolutely. Two very different experiences. But it's FTL. Going up against the underseeded but fully respected and beloved Outer Wilds. I have a feeling this one's going to be real close. I'm seeing a lot of our Outer Wilds love in the chat today, though. We'll see how it goes. Apollo was certain, by the way, our good buddy Dumb Dog was pretty damn confident in FTL's capability to pull out another W this week. We'll see how it goes. Votes open. /vote1 for FTL. /vote2 for Outer Wilds. And its contender, our number 3 seed, which is going to have to dig deep into its bag of tricks here. Let's go with, oh, we need to do this, don't we? I think we do. It is quite fitting. The last stand. Go a little forward here. And it's simply not enough. As FTL here in the second round will fall. My goodness. By a healthy margin at that. Outer Wilds showing up today, man. My goodness. The low seed performing quite well. As we say goodbye to FTL. And ironically play the victory track. You did it! All right. When they fade out, we say goodbye to FTL. As Outer Wilds moves on with 59% of the vote. My goodness. There it goes. Seed 19 will go on to face the winner of another absolutely fantastic match here in round 2. Oh, sorry, no, not that one. This one. There we go. Dungeons or Gungeons? What's it gonna be? Oh boy. Our 6th seed in the tournament. Dicey Dungeons. Chipzel with the top tier banger compilation. It's what we've all been waiting to see, man. Dungeon versus Gungeon. Who comes out on top? What a fight this should be. On the other side, it's Enter the Gungeon. Let's go with yeah, that's a good one. I think. $121.20 for the Lich version of the main theme. Okay. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I like that. That works. Perfect. It's Dicey Dungeons versus Enter the Gungeon. Soundtrack Battle of the Ages. /vote 1 for Dicey, /vote 2 for Gungeon. Let's hit it. And on the other side, It's dicey. What a close one. A well-deserved heated battle here. But it'll be dicey dungeons. Taking down Gungeon here in round 2. I do kind of regret not playing much beyond Gungeon's main theme. That being said, I do feel Gungeon's main theme is probably its best song of the soundtrack. But it won't be enough. As we say goodbye to Gungeon, we need a going out song for this one as well. Oh yeah, here I got your main bracket link right here. There you go. Oh, whoops, I did it twice. There it is. Okay, nice. We say goodbye to Enter the Gungeon. Even go. That's the track list here. Look at that. Good old Devolver. Good old Devolver. Die, Cubulon, die. Perfect. And my apologies. I know I've got a lot of responsibility on my shoulders here to try to present everything equally, and I apologize if your favorite song from your favorite soundtrack was not represented properly, perhaps swaying the voting in some ways. I'm sure I am. Of course it's happening, and you know, nothing I can do. Just keep in mind, though, this is all just goofs. This is just for fun. We're not giving out any awards. We're not distributing funding here. We're just doing our best. But it will be Enter the Gungeon saying goodbye with a quick little Baer F. As we fade it out. And that concludes round 2, actually. Let's get another quick glimpse at the carnage so far. Let's see what we have left. Down to our top 8. Hollow Knight, Crypt of the Necrodancer, Cuphead, the triple supergiant threat of Bastion, Hades, and Transistor. To round it out, Outer Wilds and Dicey Dungeons. And here we go. Getting into the final bouts here. Let's go with some peak performers here for the top seeds. What do y'all want to hear? Actually, here, let me let y'all make the determination. You can see just what I can see. What do you need to hear? Oh, City of Tears, of course. How could I not? Oh man, there's so many good ones. There's a reason this is the number 1 seed. So many good choices. But this is a heck of a contest here, man. As we've entered round 3, it'll be Hollow Knight, our number 1 seed. Remaining just as likely to stomp the competition as it has from the very beginning. Just unbelievably good work here by Christopher Larkin. But here's its competition. Yeah, what do we need to dive into for Necrodancer? Let's see. Ooh. Maybe not everybody's favorite, but I'm a pretty big fan of this one here. I'm a pretty big fan of the choral riff, personally. Just an outstanding selection. Speaking of soundtracks that can do no wrong, I don't think you got an incorrect choice here with Danny B and Crypto the Necrodancer, man. Necrodancer, you can just pick a song at random, right? Yeah. It is criminal, simply criminal, that I am making you choose between these two here in round 3. But it must be done. Hollow Knight versus Necrodancer. That's a slash vote 1 for Hollow Knight, slash vote 2 for Necrodancer. Let it begin. Woo! Wow! We're gonna have to pull out the big guns, aren't we? Here we go. On the other side, it's Hollow Knight. But it wasn't enough. And just like that, our number 1 seed will fall. My goodness. With a convincing victory. Hollow Knight will lose to Crypt of the Necrodancer. Message from my wife, boo, rigged, unsubbed. Fair, honestly. But there it is. The votes are in. And we say goodbye to Hollow Knight. Oh, you know what we need to hear, though? If we're sending out Hollow Knight, I know exactly what it is I want to hear, and it's this. This is the BaerTaffy song for Hollow Knight. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first played Hollow Knight on my own and sat on a bench and was alone with just that scene and this music, I fucking bawled. I cried so hard. I don't know what it was, but it uncorked some sort of emotional reservoir in me. I was weeping. This song is beautiful. But we will say goodbye to Hollow Knight. little bittersweet as our number 1 seed falls. We say goodbye. Just a phenomenal soundtrack. And one more shout out, Christopher Larkin. Just let it finish, Baer. It deserves it. It deserves it. There we go. Goodbye, Hollow Knight. Hello, Cuphead! Wait, no, this one. Cuphead! Perfect! That's great. Nice little piano. No, I think for the contest here, they're gonna need something a little more involved. Our number 4 seed. It's Cuphead. Simply grooving. These are all head bouncers, man. These are all cat jams. Absolutely. On the other side. Super Giant's back. What do we need here? You gonna build that wall? You wanna build that wall? We'll build that wall. I think it's time. Number 4 seed Cuphead up against our number 12 Bastion. Let's do it.
I dig my hole, you build a wall. I dig my hole, you build a wall. One day that wall is gonna fall. Gonna build that city on a hill. Gonna build that city on a hill. Someday those tears are gonna spill. So build that wall and build it strong, 'cause
Oh boy.
we'll be there
Oh boy.
before too.
Cuphead's gonna need to bring out the big guns, it looks like. All right. Winner takes all. Sure seems like it. A Floral Fury, huh? Yeah, we can go with that too. Absolutely. Get a little skip in there. There we go. Oh, yeah. Absolutely obliterated. My God. Super Giant came to play today. Bastion by An unreasonable amount. Slaughters Cuphead. Here in round 3. And that's going to move Bastion on the semifinals. My goodness. We say goodbye to Cuphead, though. We should have just given Supergiant their own bracket, apparently. This is what I'm learning today. We will say goodbye to Cuphead here in round 3. Studio MDHR. Shout out Christopher Madigan. The composition. Goodbye, Cuphead. Wait a second, where is Pyre, they say. Haven't you had enough? You gotta have all top 4 slots. This is all Supergiant. No, you get the Hades Transistor fight. That's what you get. Hang on, we need something special here, because this is gonna be a doozy. What do we need to hear for Darren Korb versus Darren Korb? That's what I'm wondering. I'm thinking it's not quite time to bring out the unseen ones. I don't know, man. I mean, is it? It might be time. I think it's time. Let's do it. Oh yeah, no, it's time. It definitely feels like it's time. Oh boy, here we go. It's Hades. You want Hades? You fucking got Hades! If this does not get you ready to run through a goddamn brick wall, there's something physically wrong with you. Good Lord. Just rocking the fuck out. So good. Wait for it. Goddamn, dude. God damn. It's Hades. But what do we need on the other side? What do we need on the other side? Someone was asking for paper boats. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Not quite matching the energy level.
Seconds march into the past.
Still, certainly
Moments pass.
eliciting those emotions.
Just like that, they're gone. The river always finds the sea.
It's beautiful, man.
So helplessly, like you find me.
It's Korb versus Korb. It's Barrett versus Barrett.
Boats floating on a stream.
Either way, I'm sure Supergiant's happy with the result here.
We'll never be apart.
Tough choice to make, though. Let's open it up. Hades versus Transistor. Polls open. Slash vote 1 for Hades. Slash vote 2 for Transistor. Let's do it.
Like the moon that makes the tides, that silent guide is calling from inside.
I'm going to go for an audible here, too, because I just realized I want to play this. Because I love this song. And on the other side, more Hades. Neck and neck. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Wow! By 2 votes. In the very last moments. It is Hades. Moving on. What a battle. My goodness. We'll keep Hades in contention. But we'll say sayonara to Transistor. In circles, you're saying. All right, here we go. As our send-off. What a contest. But that'll do it. My goodness. Super Giant Games, man. Apparently they know how to make a soundtrack. Oh, it's on another album? Well, this is still pretty good. This team is something else, man. As Transistor makes a strong showing. But we'll be knocked down in round 3. Let me say goodbye. And we go to our final matchup here in round 3. Tell you what, let's go with, what do y'all want to hear for Outer Wilds? Sun Station was my pick too, actually, so yeah, that works for me. I love Sun Station. If I could find it. Oh, there it is. For our final matchup of round 3. We return to Outer Wilds. Our lowest remaining seed in the tournament by far. A soundtrack that I personally have listened to many, many, many times. Beginning to feel that seed was a little, was maybe selling it short a bit. This is such a good mood setter for this game. Encapsulates space exploration so remarkably well. I'm glad to see this continuing to fight here because, God, this is so good. I love this soundtrack. I'm gonna be real sad to see an exit from either one of these, man. Because they're both so good. But one's got to go. What do we need to hear? We've heard bonus round. Did I play Swing Me Another 6? If I didn't, I should have. I certainly don't have a problem with hearing it again. I did in round 1. Okay, we'll hear a little bit of this. We'll play main theme for the voting portion. I mean, this is another one, honestly, that you can't really go wrong with. This is another soundtrack that, like I mentioned in the beginning, front to back is just stuffed with bangers, dude. Here, let's do mix it up a little bit more. Actually, yeah, let's go with. You want to do Fighting Chance? Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good. So good, man. I'm so sad that one of these has to go right now. But I'm also very happy to see that both of them made it as far as they did. But one must fall. Outer Wilds versus Dicey Dungeons. It's a slash vote 1 for Outer Wilds. Slash vote 2 for Dicey Dungeons. Polls open now. And on the other side, we return to Sun Station and Outer Wilds. Just like that. Outer Wilds. Semi-finalist. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought, man? My 19 seed on the day. We'll be moving on. Here we gotta. How do we send off Dicey? What's the best send off track for Dicey? Fighting Chance, we can do. I mean, that was what we were just playing. Yeah, might as well. That works. That's the vibe. That's the vibe it wants to go out with, yeah. Or we can do main menu. That works too. This is so good, man. I wanted this to win it all, I'll be honest with you. I wanted this to sneak all the way through to the finals and pick up the W, but I'm very proud of how far it made. Or how far it went. Shout out Chip Zell for a fantastic soundtrack. Oh, my bad. I lost the final percentage on there. Did someone check what was the final count there? I think it was like 59. My bad. I didn't actually look at the total. 54 to 46. That sounds right. By a score of 54 to 46. It is Outer Wilds moving on. And we say goodbye to Dicey Dungeons. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached our final four. One last peek at the full bracket again here. Of the battles that have taken place already. Of what you see here, what's your most surprising defeat? What's the game that you thought for sure would be making it to the semifinals? Personally, I got to go with Hollow Knight. I am blown away that Hollow Knight was knocked out round 3. FTL certainly a surprise to see get knocked out so early on as well, for sure. Undertale also a shocker early round exit. That goes to show you how good Undertale was. Look at the Undertale Bastion matchup, then look at the Cuphead Bastion matchup. I'd be very curious to see how those perform. But then again, look at the Cuphead Darkest Dungeon matchup. Like, my God, there's been quite the difference in results so far in this. Here we go, man. It's time. Our Final Four. And what a Final Four it is. Starting, of course, with a game that has been just crushing it so far. What do we need to hear, folks? I know there's plenty of fantastic choices. What do we need to hear from Necrodancer? March of the Profane can do. With the shopkeeper to boot. You really can't go wrong here, man. This soundtrack is just absolutely sensational. And we're pulling out the shopkeeper here too, man. Yeah. Still had one in the chamber for Necrodancer. So goddamn good. This is making me want to play Necrodancer so bad. Here's a sign of quality for you. Crypt of the Necrodancer. Taking out our top seed. Going up against one of 2 remaining Supergiant powerhouses. In the form of Bastion. You need Setting Sail Coming Home, can do. Can do. It's the semifinals. Darren Korb and friends have had a hell of a showing in the tournament so far. And Bastion, having defeated Cuphead, having defeated Undertale, and of course Kingdom too. Taking on all comers. Bastion still here. And here's our first semifinal vote. / vote 1 for Necrodancer. / vote 2 for Bastion. Let it begin. There we go. On the other side, it's Necrodancer. With the shopkeeper wild card. Necrodancer is no more. It will be Bastion. Moving on. One last push at the end was not enough. Necrodancer with a very respectable semifinal showing. Certainly goes without saying that this could easily be considered one of the best game soundtracks of all time. Crypt of the Necrodancer. We will send it off and say goodbye. A very close one yet again, as Bastion moves on with 51% of the vote. And Supergiant has its first entry into the finals. Will it be another Supergiant versus Supergiant matchup? Or will Outer Wilds manage the surprise of the tournament, perhaps? Could we see a 12 versus 19 seed in the finals, proving once and for all that Baer doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about? Let's find out. As first up, it's Hades. And having already played the unseen ones, what do we need here? We need some In the Blood. I think it's time for some In the Blood. Seems about right. My goodness, man. What an event it's been. Here with our penultimate matchup. A game that I think many, many folks expected to see go this far. It's Hades. Ashley Barrett's just a cheat code in this tournament, man. I think that much has been made very clear. I mean, no ruling out the Darren Korb contribution either, certainly. But man, hard to argue against the quality here. Absolutely beautiful. And on the other side, now hold on a second. We just did Sun Station. How are we matching that energy here? What do we need? Final End Times. That certainly seems right. Oh, Echoes of the Eye. Oh, right. Oh, that's the DLC, right? Hold on a second. Yeah, you wanted the DLC stuff. Let me look for that real quick. I haven't actually heard that yet, so this will be the first time for me. Interesting that we're going to judge it that way. But y'all seem to know what you're talking about. Let's see. That's going to be Echoes of the Eye. There we go. Okay. And Outer Wilds for its semi-final appearance. Of course, DLC completely on the table here, no doubt. Certainly part of the soundtrack. Wow, yeah. Already loving this. Oh, man. Well, let's do it then. We got ourselves a competition, folks. For the darling of the tournament. Going up against the Juggernaut. 2 minutes. Vote 1 for Hades. Vote 2 for Outer Wilds. Here we go. Oh, come on. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say anything, but oh my God. Okay, but however, I know I gotta be cruel. I'm sorry, I gotta do it, but we gotta do this. We gotta do this because on the other side, don't you dare forget. Don't you forget what it's going up against. Wow. Wow. It's done. It's final. The tournament darling moves on, confirming without a shadow of a doubt that Baer doesn't know how to seed these contestants. Wow. Outer Wilds makes it to the finals over Hades. My goodness. Good riddance duet. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. That's the send out for sure. For sure. No doubt. My goodness, man. How good do you gotta be to beat this? You gotta be Outer Wilds good. That's what. Yeah, so much for the Corb versus Corb, right? But this is the will of the people. We say goodbye to Hades. Goodbye. Goodbye, Hades. And with one last look, here's how the bracket is shaped out today. Certainly full of surprises, man. My God. Man, remember when Into the Breach got knocked out round one? Holy hell. There's so many good indie soundtracks. Absolutely nuts. For the Transistor fans out there, do you think Transistor could have taken on Outer Wilds, or do you think the result would have been more of the same? I'm curious. Now bring in Pyre, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We can do a third place vote. We might as well. Sure. We'll just do one here and now, just for fun. Let's determine our third place winner. So that's going to be Necrodancer versus Hades. Oh boy. Here, I'll give you a... Well, I did just close the tab, I guess. Here, we'll just do it for fun real quick for just a 1 minute poll. So determine our third place winner real fast. Let's see what we get. I'll see here. I'll even do you one more. I'll try to bring the Necrodancers. Oh wait, no, I already have this. I never closed it. There we go. Let's take a look. Let's go with. Let's play 1-3. Let's get back into the main set. Yeah, you've had your time with Hades. One more Necrodancer. One more Necrodancer here. This would have been, I mean, we're seeing it now, of course, but this matchup in the bracket would have been, I think, just as hotly contested as it is right now. Yeah, this is expectedly close. Good stuff. Well, there we go. Looks like Hades is going to grab our third place finish. Necrodancer, an extremely respectable fourth place, especially with this crowd. Very impressive stuff. All right, there we go. It's time, folks. It's time. The grand finals. Gone through all the rounds, all the pain, all the hardships to determine the very best. We're about to find out. Bastion, 12th seeded Bastion, takes on 19th seed Outer Wilds. We need Slinger Song for Bastion. Can do. Let's do it. Oh, thank you for the gifty as well. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the subs and all the resubs, all the support today, y'all. Appreciate that a lot. Thanks for tuning into the show. Hope it's been fun. I'm really enjoying doing stuff like this. I'm going to try to figure out more of these things we can do in the future. Definitely appreciate y'all tuning in and hanging out for this one today. It's been a lot of fun. Our first finalist, it's Bastion. Destroyed the competition early on in the bracket. Took on Kingdom. Took on Undertale with this first major surprise upset of the tournament, perhaps. Up against Cuphead. Takes it down convincingly. And sneaks one away from Crypto the Necrodancer to make its way to our final round. Deservedly so. Certainly one of the best soundtracks of all time. I mean, goddamn Supergiant. Please never stop making games, Supergiant. We need more of your music in the world. It's our first finalist. It's Bastion. Anything that was able to take down both Undertale and Cuphead, you know, is of pretty remarkable quality. So we heard Echoes of the Eye just now off of the Outer Wilds DLC. Is there anything else y'all think needs to be heard as our final song here, more than likely, for Outer Wilds? We're getting requests for The River. Can do. Our second finalist, our 19th seed, making a Cinderella run for the ages. Here with the track off the DLC, Echoes of the Eye. It's Outer Wilds. Its second Supergiant opponent in a row. Managed to take a pretty convincing victory over Hades here in the semis. Took out Dicey Dungeons before that. FTL before that. And Owlboy before that. Look at this. Look at this list. Owlboy I had pegged as a dark horse to go real deep into this one. Outer Wilds crushed it out of the gate. FTL, obviously, a favorite. Certain that one would make it quite a bit deeper into the tournament. Outer Wilds says no thank you. Dicey Dungeons, absolute powerhouse of the tournament. One of my favorite soundtracks I've ever heard in my life. Outer Wilds says, oh, I beg to differ. And of course, Hades. Not much need be said about that. Here to take on its final opponent. Let the vote begin. 3 minutes this time to decide the winner It's Bastion versus Outer Wilds. /vote 1 for Bastion, /vote 2 for Outer Wilds. Let's begin. We're a little early on the switch, but I'll take that opportunity to swap back. We'll hear a little more Bastion now. So close here. So close. My goodness. Can we just get a 50-50? Dual winners? Last seconds. What's it gonna be? By the skin of its teeth, it's Bastion! At the very last moments. Just like that. Wow. Basically 50-50 all the way through. But in the final moments, without even needing the cheat code of Ashley Barrett, it will be Bastion taking the win. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 51-49. Appropriately so. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner. The best indie soundtrack Bears bracket. It's Bastion. Give it a bear clap. Give it a nice bear clap. Key the K, thanks for the gift. He's appreciated. Good stuff, man. Wow. Our 12 seed. 12 versus 19. Yeah, you love to see that, huh? That's great. B. Greenfield, thank you for the gifties as well. Okay, I've seen several requests for, it's like 14.8 billion or something. What was the name of the song that you want to hear? As our send-off for Outer Wilds. Because I don't think I see it in the list here for the DLC tracks. Is it in the original OST? It's from base game. Okay, give me 1 second here. 1 second. 14.3 billion. Outer Wilds. This looks right. Come on! Does that sound right? Is this the one? 4 gifties. Thank you so much. Nice. The appropriate exit. As we say goodbye to Outer Wilds. One of the most remarkable performances of the tournament, for sure. Well, let's give it a proper Baer F. And I'll shut my mouth while I go to the bathroom real quick. Folks, it's been a treat, but that's our send-off for Outer Wilds. But I would be remiss if I didn't let Bastion take the final spotlight here as our well-deserved winner. What's our final track, folks? I'll take one more request here as we send off the full tournament. Spike and a Rail. Did we hear that one? I'm struggling to remember at this point. We need a vocals one, right? Absolutely. I've heard several requests for Zolf's theme. Let's do that. Let's do that. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, with one last round of Baer claps, please. A round of applause for the winner of the best indie soundtrack, Bastion.
Set my sail, fly, the wind it will take me back to my home, sweet home. Lie on my back, clouds are making way for me. I'm coming home, sweet home. I see your star, you left it burning for me. Mother, I'm here. Eyes open wide, feel your heart and it's glowing. I'm welcome home, sweet home. I take your hand, now you'll never be lonely. Not when I'm home, sweet home. I see your star, you left it burning for me. Mother, I'm here.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Where's my play out track? We're going to go with end theme. Back to the end theme. GG. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Again, this is all in good fun. Hope you're able to have a good time with it. Congrats to Bastion. play all of these games, listen to all of these soundtracks. They're all fucking phenomenal. Thanks for being here, folks. I'll see you on Monday. Later.